good, YouTube? It's your boy Tavion, otherwise known as Bullish with T, bringing you a breakdown video of my $1,300 win today on Nas100. This was actually a really great setup. A lot of this was textbook, and I just can't say anything more than it was a textbook trade. And I'm going to be breaking it down in this video. So I'm going to be keeping it brief, short, simple, to the point, and I hope it makes sense. So without further ado, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't to the channel, and share this out with other people as well, because I am and do want to grow this channel out to be very successful on YouTube. All right, so as I stated, this is a trade I actually won today. I held it for a few days because I entered off of actually this high here, and so forth, which is a really nice entry. So I got some entry points within there. Then actually there's another point where I actually had some more sells down here that I'm going down around this area that I'm going to explain too. And like I said, this video won't be too long, but let's go ahead and get right into it. So first things first, I keep my trade, setups or whatnot very simple. I try not to overcomplicate it. And I'll be completely honest, this one's a little bit different than my normal strategy of what I look for trades. So if you don't know, I typically use the Fibonacci tool, order blocks, and supply and demand. But within this one, there were a few things that I saw, including some news as well. But there were a few things that I saw that really, stuck out to me. So it all involved scaling in on the 1 hour and daily. So the first thing I want to give advice to every single trader out there, whether you're new or even have some experience, is always remember to scale in and out of your trades. So what that means is you're scaling in and out of different time zones. So for me, I'm typically a swing trader, if not intraday trader. So if you don't know what that means, I'll typically hold my trades for several hours, if not days. This trade, I believe this was held till, I cannot remember. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, one of the two. Monday, Tuesday is when I held this trade. Oh, Tuesday, right here. So it was held till Tuesday. Today's Thursday as I'm recording this, so I held it for about 2 days. So that's just a bit of me when it comes down to trading. But yeah, when it comes down to the strategy, it was very simple, and I loved what I saw. So first things first, the first confirmation came down to off a resistance level and a level it retested off of. So let me go ahead and mark that line so we can all see it there, so I can break that down. So this is what happened here, right? So first things first, even if you know what these methods or don't, keep in mind this channel is also for people who have never traded before. What price actually did here, not necessarily over here yet, but what it did originally here was price retested off this level here that we have on this low at Nas100. So a retest basically is saying when price reaches a certain area point, or if not, it could be like a lower high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high. When price gets to that point, then rejects to the other level, or rejects the opposite direction, or continuation of price. So that's actually what we saw price do here. So what I mean by that is we have a low here where I'm marking right now. So there was a low previously, price broke through, breaking through, came up, and it retested off of this level here where this low is. Now keep in mind, price is not always going to be perfect to call something, to call something as a retest or whatever it may be. Like, it'll never be perfect. Sometimes it can be, but that's exactly what it did here, because it did that same thing with this low. The difference was this is on the outside of my resistance line. This is on the inside, right? So this is my retest, and then price came back down. So I kept that in mind. I kept that area in mind, because the one thing we need to understand when it comes down to trading and price as a whole is, price likes to repeat history. It likes to do what it did in the past, where I like to say it likes to revisit the past. So that's exactly what it did again over here. So price broke through just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, but due to news, and I'm gonna get to the next thing I saw for why I took this sell up here. But due to news, I knew that I should also, because also with everything going on with inflation and whatnot, expecting price to come back down as well. But when price rejected off of this candle or this level again, this is when I executed the sell. But more importantly, I more so executed my sell getting in with this zone area here. So I got in the sell somewhere around like the body down here. But that's when I got in on this sell, or at least multiple entries for that sell, and then held it, so on and so forth. And then I held the entire thing until 11,040 is when I stopped. I just took my money and went. It did go all the way down to 10,000. I'll round it to like 900, which in that case, if I did the math, I would have made about an extra. I would have made about extra like 600 to 700. So about that would have been about a $1,900 trade. But I'm not tripping about it. I got to get your money and go. So that's what I saw just on the 1 hour. Now, second thing I saw, because again scaling out, was on the daily, right? So this was perfect beyond perfect. So this is what really made me get in for this sell for Nas, is this pattern that was formed here. So knowing when I saw price going up and I saw rejected once, I saw that price at one point rejected off here again. I didn't wait for the close on this one. Typically I do, but because price was already off of a sort of resistance level, because price was off of a resistance level and it was retesting again, this is when I decided to get in for that sell. Because like I said, I got somewhere around like the 11,500 range for this trade. And this is a nice reversal candlestick pattern that we have here as well, that made this happen. So with that being said, once that happened, this caught this entire move to the downside. And then, of course, this is where it ends down here, but I closed out a little bit sooner. But I caught the entire move from basically up here to all the way down here, so on and so forth. But even looking on the daily, we can see it even better, So you see price again, where price was over here, broke through, retested, came down again, retested again. So now what I'm looking for is, price is currently going, it's like I said, Thursday recording this. I may or may not get in for another trade and whatnot. We'll see what happens. But I am anticipating that Nas will drop even more as well. So what I'm currently looking for price to do next is simply for price to come to this level here where it can fill in order block as well. So what that just simply means is when price, or let's say this candle, if it does move up here, it'll collect price here, it'll fill in price from this end of the wick here on the previous candle here, and then move back down. So I can use the Fibonacci tool as well to just kind of get an idea of like, okay, like what should we be looking at, so on and so forth. So if I were to, kind of do it from even, typically we do low to high for this one. Can't really do a low to high since there's no high point for the next one. But I am looking for a price to basically come around this area on the 1 hour time frame, and then looking for that next sell again. But again, not going to rush it whatsoever. I mean, the MACD is showing that it is trying to push back buying power, which is what I want it to do. So that way I can, get in for that better entry for that sell. Because it definitely is looking like it's good for a drop, so on and so forth. I'm just again waiting for price to come back up. If it fills in this order block, that's when I'm going to get in, execute for another sell, and honestly hold it, because I do believe that it is going to continue to tank. But again, we'll see what happens. But really breaking it down, that's as simple as it is when it comes down to this trade and so forth. And again, the reason I was really confident about this sell is simply because we've seen price not even just stop here on the outside at one point, but we saw price come here again, reject off this level, it rejected again. And the fact that I know we are downtrending, we're in an overall downtrend right now at least, I'm expecting price to push through even more. But I'm not going to get in the trade right now, because I do want I want to kind of minimize as much drawdown as possible. So I do want to make sure that if it comes, I'm looking for this order block here next, basically filling in price at this area here, then executing for the sale. So that's the next thing that I'm looking for. But other than that, it was a textbook trade, very simple, very simple trade to catch if you saw it. But that's really all I have for this video, So this was a really simple, like I said, typically my trades will always include the Fibonacci tool, supply, demand, order blocks, like I just broke down. But this one was basic, honestly, support, resistance, and retesting that I really saw here. And sometimes it's as simple as that. And sometimes it's best when you can catch those moves when you see those happen. So guys, that's pretty much all I have for you in this breakdown today. Just keeping it as simple as possible is, what you need to do when it comes to this market. So whether you're new, you've never touched it before, if you touched it a little bit, then you walked away, or if you're still on your journey as well, just keep it simple. This is the one thing I always say. The biggest thing that we think about when we think about the word simple is easy, and it's not easy, right? But simple in the sense of we can keep it as simple as possible to where it does become easier for us to obtain the knowledge and information to to execute these trades correctly. So, but yeah, with that being said, I'm going to be analyzing this a little bit more for what I'm looking for. I may pay attention to this price area as well. But again, I do think that Nas is going to keep tanking. I mean, it's even showing that it's losing buying power, which indicates that we are, or it is pushing towards the selling side. So on and so forth. But yeah, that's all I have for this video, guys. So hey, drop a like, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what else you'd like to see as far as like either advice videos, breakdown videos. Share this channel out with other people, because I do want to grow this, and I am going to grow this to a very large platform as well. And it's all with your support as well. But with that being said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video, y'all. Take care.